now. So what did you say?
No, I was just joking. We were talking about our classes and routine.
Yeah. We were just saying that it's quite slow. Past a few
this
months.
class.
Yeah.
This
No,
class.
not the class. Not the class. IELTS, students as such.
The number of candidates are
Number of
comparatively
students.
less
Yeah.
when
So
compared
it's
to
quite
the
going. It's quite cold. I mean, not even from the institute. Hardly just like 2 or 3 students from them. One batch at a time. That's it.
And how many in the batch on average?
It depends. Like now it's going too slow, so we just have 2 or 3 students in a batch, and otherwise we do have like 5, 6. Also, we've had 7 to 8 as well in one batch. So
yeah, that's the
that was
same
like
for
few
me.
months back. Yeah, that was a few months back now. I haven't had like a batch full of 5 students in batch. That's been quite long. So it's just like 2 or 3 students in 1 or 2 batches. So it's quite in Bangalore.
Yeah, true. What about you, Ali? Is it the same in Iran?
Sorry, I was just paraphrasing and writing. What was your question? Sorry, missed it.
Oh, is it slow in Iran? The amount of classes?
Slow somehow, and unfortunately, I don't know, because as you know, I don't know, something happens. We hear some news about entering different kinds of vaccinations, and but on the other hand, just I mean, there's no, services for the people, and many people are in lines and waiting for just receiving their vaccinations, but unfortunately not exactly at the time that they have to receive it, because of, as you know, just the population of Iran is a lot, more than 85 just millions, and so just they have to, finish it at least, for the elderly people, but still we're waiting. And even as I see and because in different cities they have a different, just areas, and some like clinics or some special places, but I don't know, there are many red pens, and that's unfortunately, I don't know why, but everyone thinks about himself or herself, and that's the bad things. I think these days, and because of the second reason, maybe because we had an election, and for our president, new president, and maybe that causes a little bit, just slower than before, and I think maybe this was the reason, more the most important reason. But I myself, I don't know, I'm tired of following the news and politics and whatever. But hope everything goes well, because I myself, if I would receive the vaccination on time, I wouldn't, get COVID-19 after 1.5 year.
Well, I would say it's not the case with everyone. There are many candidates who are actually getting COVID even after their vaccinations. Like, vaccinations doesn't make you, doesn't means that you won't get COVID. It's just that the complications won't be much. That is what I heard of. Like, you wouldn't have real health issues if you're vaccinated.
Yes, I know what you mean, Somaya, but the reason is that because there's no control in our, in cities. It's summer.
Okay.
And in Iran, we have many, I mean, in north of Iran, we have a long beach, just Caspian Sea. And many people these days just want to travel and the schools are closed. And that's why before that it was closed because they were online. I mean, everything was online. But these days it's getting worse and worse. But society and I don't know, society, no, I mean, the government has no control for the people, and that is the problem, because it's summer and they want to travel to another cities, um, and even without vaccination it gets more and more. And for the
Okay,
citizens,
Ali, we're going
Yeah.
to carry on. The reason being is that while we're in that frame of mind of paraphrasing, that we need to stay in that mindset. I hope you don't mind. Now, I just read Davinder's. Davinder, you said, I believe that the merits outnumber the demerits of these robotomized vehicles. Robotomized vehicles. Okay. That's the advantages, disadvantages, yeah? You still got to paraphrase the topic, but it's okay. We'll carry on for that. All right.
I have paraphrased also.
Oh, okay. Read it to us.
Okay. No, I have sent in the text as well. So it was like, it is undeniable fact that in the upcoming future, vehicles will be driven technologically, and there will only be the users inside these automobiles.
Okay. Can you read it one more time?
Yes, ma'am, sure. So it is undeniable fact that in the upcoming future, vehicles will be driven technologically, and there will only be the users inside these automobiles.
All right. So we had a synonym for only.
Oh yes. So so there will
Just be.
just, yes, oh yeah, just the only. So specifically.
Yeah, basically. Very
All
good.
right. Sure. Okay.
Okay, that's brilliant. Okay, guys, we're going to move on. So we've done that. Because I think the longest part's going to be the writing P1 and P2, doing the actual writing for it. Whether we have it as a homework, because it will take forever to write 4 sentences for each one, but we can figure out what we're going to do. So after we've done that, we're going to plan P1 and P2. Now, I just want to say, I know there are other ways. The only way I do, the only way that I go is the simplest. I love easy work. And we all love easy work, but you know, it has to be easy for the students. They get really used to this way. When they know P1 and P2, okay, you've got P1, you got P1 and P2 for P1 and P2 for any of your, so you know there's, except for the direct question, well, of course, that's a bit different. But for the other ones, like opinion, give your opinion, agree, disagree, this one, the problem and solution, or there's another one, problem and solution, something and solution. There's 2 of those, and then the direct question. But this is so simple for the students. So we're going to do this, and then for the homework, I'll give you his homework because we're not going to wait for everyone to write the whole 250 word essay. So plan P1 and P2, do you think? Well, we've already talked about that, the advantages and disadvantages. Now, for P1, it's whatever you agree. If you disagree, then of course, P1 is going to be on your disagreeing. And so you're going to use 3 sentences. There's actually 4. I forgot the 4th, which is a country and a percentage. So I just put it in. So there's overall 4 sentences. Sentence. And when you do it this way, the students feel actually they can do it because it doesn't look too scary to them. Country and percentage. And it's the same for P2. So we're going to go over what yous would give. Like, for example, sentence 1. Who thinks of it as an advantage? How many of you are okay? You, Neha. Ali, were you an advantage? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Oh, Ali, were you an advantage?
I didn't add anything, just
Oh.
added my examples, just added the examples to that.
Okay, so what happens here, like Neha she's on the advantage side. What side are you on, Samir?
Disadvantage.
Okay, so your first paragraph is going to be disadvantages.
Disadvantage.
Neha's is going to be advantages. What are yours, Devinda?
Advantages, ma'am.
Okay, yeah, mine are advantages as well. I haven't written anything, but oh yes, I have. I said the pros. All right. So now all you're going to do is you're going to write sentence 1. You're going to write a simple overview. So the simple sentence overview is going to, when the examiner reads it, he's going to know exactly what's coming up in sentence 2 and 3 and 4. So it's because of how you've outlined it. For example, you might say, I didn't write anything. Okay, do you think the time to, I would say that, that the pros and cons. Okay, so what I would say for an overview of sentence 1 is I would say self-automated, well, I think I said self-automated. Okay, automatic vehicles are a good thing to look forward to in the future. So that's my simple sentence. So a good thing means that it's an advantage. And so from that, my overview, simple sentence, I would do 2 and 3 examples. So I'd say, if we say sentence 2, I would have green, what do you call that thing? Green, not green environment. What is it called? Green, something, something, green, you know, the green, clean, environmental,
Yes, friendly
energy.
environment, cars, you mean?
Eco-friendly.
yeah, so that would be my sentence 2. I would say that that the Green New Deal will progress a lot when looking at these types of these types of vehicles. I forgot what we had for vehicles. These types of transport that benefit the environment. So then I would talk about that for the Green New Deal for environment. Sentence 3, I would use there will be a reduction in car accidents because there would be a certain speed limit that is limited to these types of cars, which won't be the same as highways that allow up to 160 miles per hour. So these are all my reasons why I support that. And then sentence 4, I'd say in the US, for example, Telstar has already created driverless cars. I'd actually used driverless ones, have actually created driverless cars, and it's been successful to a point, but we know that every new creation takes time and takes modifying. But otherwise about 25% of Americans are already using these types of vehicles, which is good for global warming, climate change, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so it would be like that. So you don't have to say it all. You would just give an intro sentence into. So sentence 1, you're going to write an overview. And then sentence 2, you might just write a few words like the green environment. And then, of course, that's it. And then sentence 3, you might write less accidents on the road. And then sentence 4, you do a country and a percentage, and it's the same for sentence P2. Sentence 1, you're going to do an overview. So of course you might say, and on the other hand, there are some cons. No, we don't want cons. And on the other hand, there are some negatives involved in this new process. That's your overview. And then sentence 2, you might have errors and mistakes with technology. Number 3, affordability. It's really only for those that can afford to buy them. And then you might use an example, sentence 4. You might use you might say like, take China, for example. And you know, it's creative, it's just making it up. They don't care that you're making it up, but you have to support everything you've said in sentence 4. So sentence 1, 2, and 3 is supported by sentence 4, summing up a country. So in sentence 4 for against, you're going to say, take China, for example, or France, anyone. They have found that, a study has shown that 30% of civilians have purchased these types of modes of transport. But unfortunately, 10% have resulted in some form of accident. So there is still a lot of work to do. If you get what I mean, that's in the, do you get it? That's in the disadvantage stage. So you only need like 5 minutes because you're not going to write the whole sentences, but you can write your overview for both of them, whichever one you agree with, and then you're going to have sentence 2, a few words on what you're going to write about, like whether it's the green environment, globalization, climate change, or number 3, reduction in traffic accidents. And then you've got the same for, okay, so I'll give you 5 minutes if that's okay. I know it's late, and then after this, it'll be the, you can just write it for homework and send it to our GIT, which will be great, because it's all a learning for all of us when we read it. Okie dokie.
The first paragraph you're trying to.
No, yeah, so this is the layout. P1, sentence 1 is an overview. Now, you think of it as an advantage. So, of course, the overview is going to be an advantage. And the overview is going to speak for sentence 2 and 3 and 4. So, I forgot what I said. There are many benefits that outweigh. No, there are many, something like that. And then sentence 2 is going to say what they are. Sentence 3, what
I
they are.
need to say right now what do we write? We write the P1 or you
No, you write
the
it
P1
now.
and
So all you're going to
Okay.
do is the outline. It's only an outline. You only need a couple of sentences for sentence 2, for sentence 3, and for sentence 4. Just a couple of words, not sentences. So it's just like, for example, sentence 2, climate change. And then sentence 3, reduction in accidents. And America and something 5%. That's all you're doing. This is all this, the students learn to do. Overall, it should take, at the beginning, it takes them 8 minutes. But as they get used to doing these types of essays over and over, it gets like 4 minutes. It gets very short and they get very good at it. Okay, did you get that, Devinda?
Yes, ma'am, yes.
Okay, so you got that, great. So just write a couple of words for each sentence. This is what you're going to talk about, like a bullet point.
Right. Yeah.
Maria, should we make an example for each sentence, or just write just three or two just
Yeah,
words?
just a bullet point, because this is only going to be an outline.
Okay.
So, yeah, so for example, you've got that, you know, the benefits of carless drivers, and in sentence 2 would be, you might just put a bullet point, great for the environment, and then you're going to expand on it, or expound on it for homework. And then sentence 3 would be less accidents on the road. And then sentence 4, you'll put a country and a percentage, and then you'll write about that. And you do exactly the same for P2 with disadvantages. So that's all it is. It's just bullet points. It's a clear outline before you even get into writing. Because what this does is it helps to keep your writing in check. It helps you, like, for example, the sequences information. This is coherence and cohesion at a band 8. Sentences, information, and ideas logically. Well, this is how we do it logically. If you're just left to right, there's no logic in just being left to right. And when it comes in your head, you write it. That's not true. You'll never get a high band by relying on your own mind. You have to plan and plan it. So this is just an outline.
Right.
When
Thank
you write, yeah, it's all clear. Now, a band 8 for task achievement, it says presents a well-developed response to the question with relevant, extended, and supported ideas. So what we're doing is relevant, we've extended it, and we're using supportive ideas. The supportive ideas come from backing it up with a country and a percentage. So the whole thing is about covering the criteria. The vocabulary, we've done it with synonyms, uncommon lexical items. I think I talked about this, but at least say maybe 2 or 3 is sufficient, where you can use a bigger word, an uncommon word, like lackadaisical. That just means lazy. So you might say it definitely benefits those that are lackadaisical, because all they do is sit inside the vehicle and read the paper. They've never been an avid driver. In fact, they're probably those that have really hated driving. So did you get that? It says uses uncommon lexical items. And that's it. So that's the full 8, what we've just done in this task. Uses a wide range of structures for grammar and accuracy. Well, we know the wide range of structures. That's the simple sentence, compound word, and complex word in one. That's called that's a range of complex structures. So you only need 3 of those in the actual writing. So, you know, you might say, even though there are only a few that benefit this type of transport, it will gradually, this is such a roundabout way, it would gradually touch other people who want this type of method. However, so if I use the and a however, that's my range of things. So it's using the compound word and the complex words. So you know, Ellie, there's only 7 compound words in the entire English language. So you need to try to use about 5 out of 7 in order to get that complex range of structures. You need to If you're short on those, you can't get what it says here, wide range of structures. So just try to write with 5 of them and use a number of complex ones like therefore, in addition, furthermore, even though, that kind of thing. Otherwise, we've covered the band 8, and it says majority of sentences are error-free. So that means we're talking about no errors at about a band 7 is 12. So a band 8 would be like 7, around 7 or maybe 6. And then of course a band 9. Now, a band 9 is not perfect. You may have a few errors, but it's not that you don't have any. I mean, that's just a bit impossible. So you might have 3. It's okay. All right, has everyone finished? Who's done their outline? Oh, who wrote this? Okay, this is you, Samia.
It's me.
Overview?
Yeah,
more-
just the line, like just the idea of it. So the first line I just did mention the idea, and in second and third line, I'll actually just write it in other words and explain it in detail.
Yes, very good. So you've
Yeah.
got with more automated vehicles around, there, okay, it's too long. A simple sentence is about 6 or 7 words. So you've got,
Yeah.
and it's not a simple sentence. So you've got like,
yeah.
like a good example is the
actually,
one where someone says, I went to the shop. That's a simple sentence.
Mhm.
And then they add the compound word for a milk. And then they add a complex word, however, it was close. That's a complex range. But a simple sentence is short. With more, there will be more. No, this will go into your actual sentences. It will go into your paragraph. Okay, regarding the safety. So what you might say, automated vehicles will by default, automated vehicles will by default be more safer. That's it.
Yeah, got the
You
point.
get it? And then you've got everything you've
Yeah.
said there.
And then just describe it.
Yeah, exactly. So you talk about the safety of people, you talk about more layoffs. In other words, people will lose their job. Oh, you're against it, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so let me see what your simple sentences. So you got, okay, so it won't be beneficial. You'll have automated vehicles will by default cause more harm to society. That's it. Okay, more harm to
Yes.
the community, to society.
Yes.
And then you're going to use what you've said, losing jobs, and then you've got safety concerns, all affected 70%.
That's actually AI, artificial intelligence.
Huh?
AI, artificial intelligence.
Okay, so artificial intelligence affected
70% of the population, and then I'll just put a country over there. So it's
Yeah,
like AI is obviously artificial intelligence, right? So that affected 70% of the population, and then in particular country. So like I would be saying about the jobs.
Yeah, I get it, but you're still talking in future because this hasn't happened yet, has it? Has it already happened? So like you say, there'll be what we just said, sentence 2, people will lose their jobs, safety concerns, and then you would say by 2030, at least 70% of the population will be affected by this change in whatever, by this thing, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's good.
Population. Get.
Yeah. Maria, can I read?
Yes,
All right. Admittedly, running automatic vehicles has a number of positives to it. Firstly, it would reduce human errors.
so where's your,
So-
just give me first your overview sentence.
Admittedly, running automatic vehicles has a number of positives to it.
Very good, so that's that. And now your first, your second sentence would say, firstly, yeah,
Firstly, it would reduce human errors. So number of accidents would be comparatively less. Secondly, would be traffic would be more organized and systematic. So less breakage of traffic rules, proper amendment of traffic rules probably. And thirdly would be safety and security of the people traveling. An example would be, according to a recent research, it has proved that virtual driven cars would not only be safe, but would reduce the risk of major road mishaps.
okay, great. So you gave her the percentage, and what country was it?
I did not use any country, but I would put a percentage over there.
Yeah, just add a country and add a percentage. Because if you're
Yeah.
going to talk about research has shown or a study, well, you have
Correct.
to say where.
Yeah.
All right, that's great. Thank you. Very good.
And my second paragraph also.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, however, after all, automated machines are computer-based systems and are suspected to malfunction. So that's how I start.
So
Is
your
that fine?
simple sentence is what?
However, after all, automated machines are computer-based systems and are suspected to malfunction.
Okay, so what you do is when you finish writing paragraph 1, you leave a line and you go, you write however. Do you remember the
Yeah.
last one we wrote? You wrote however, and then you go into the second paragraph. You're saying however and what?
After all, automated machines are
Why would you have
computer-based.
however and after all together?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I made a mistake there.
So just
Yeah.
have however, and then
Yeah.
go into your second paragraph because your simple sentence is good.
Yeah. So computer-based systems are suspected to malfunction.
Yeah, okay, great.
And then my second sentence would be, it would reduce employment opportunities. So there would be a lot of layoffs. Third sentence would be affordability. I mean, it would not be cost effective for a lot of people to afford it. So that would be my second and third sentence. And my example would be, take China for an example. It took some test runs for such vehicles, and it proved that the chances of accidents increased by 10%
Okay,
in
very
comparison.
good. Yeah.
In
Very good.
comparison to the,
Yeah, because each paragraph should be about 110 words, because you need 250. So 110, 110 is 220. Then you've got the paraphrase, and then you've got the conclusion. All right, very good. Thank you.
thank you, Maria.
I look forward to reading your guys' essays. I can't wait. Ellie, are you ready?
Not yet, and just because I couldn't finish it still,
Okay.
just the
All
second
right.
part. I'm
Devin-
thinking.
Okay, Devinda, are you ready?
If it is okay, I can read, but I can, nothing comes to my mind for the second one, for 2 points, two more
Okay.
points, I mean. And for just P1, first, easy to access. And for the second one, and more tickets are needed to pass among the passengers. And for the third one, automatic cars, vehicles will be automatic by default, will be on a street. And the fourth one, environmentally friendly vehicles would save they would save the environment. Just this, I wrote it short, I think. And the second, I mean the P2, I mean the this disadvantage. Number one, out of control accidents will be 40% more. And the second one, slow speed automobiles. Drivers vehicle are longer. I'm sorry. The speed of these automobiles causes to the driver's vehicle to stop longer than just I don't know what I wrote because I don't know, I crossed out a lot. I'm sorry, this part, but slow speed automobiles, sorry, it stops longer and in compared to driver's vehicle. And just these two, because the third one is not much, I mean, logical to my mind still. Just I wrote 2 for disadvantages and 4 wrote for advantages.
Good effort, Ellie. Good on you. So when you actually write the essay, I would just mark it and then you'll just see where maybe there can be some changes, maybe. But well done. You're getting the hang of it.
Sorry, it really, during just the writing, I was coughing and I don't know, I wasn't, that still I'm not maybe not in good mood, but and I try to just write more and I mean better.
Look, half of the thing is that you're not well. So you're doing really well considering, because I wouldn't even be here if I was you.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. At least you took an effort to learn and be
Yeah.
here with all of us.
Absolutely. You would not see my face. I'll be that little girl on the GIT. Go away, go away.
Go.
I love that little girl. I send her everywhere when someone's annoying me. Go away, go away. So don't worry, Ellie. I'm just amazed that you're here. All right, well done. Well, we'll hear from Devinda.
Yes, ma'am. So when I actually came across that I just need to write in with 6 to 7 words, I actually was like, what do I do? Like, I had no clue to write the sentence in 6 words. So what I wrote is that driverless vehicles will ensure the journey pleasant and error-free. That was
Yes.
my overview.
Good. And then for your next sentence?
Capacity of machines, like machines have more efficacy, I think we can use word efficacy than human, as human can be tired and sleep deprived, which is the major cause of accidents.
Exactly. Especially truck drivers.
Yeah.
Especially
But
truck drivers.
with the machines, there are like nothing seems like this, and machines don't get distracted easily. But truck drivers, especially, for example, in India, they like to talk with their conductors frequently while driving, even on highways.
Mm.
And next can be the point, ma'am, that you mentioned was eco-friendly, I think, yes. So even on red lights, driver don't turn off their engines, and which has notably, for example, the amount of emissions at traffic lights are, I can say, very much as compared to the vehicle is running, but it will, machines can like turn off the engines or the systems on time to reduce pollution. So I think these can, and I think I can also add the point of time saving, that machines can save our time or will save our time. So these are for my first paragraphs.
All right. That's paragraph one and paragraph two, yeah?
Only for paragraph one, ma'am.
Oh,
So I
okay.
can like
Did you do
eliminate some
paragraph?
sentences.
Did you do paragraph two?
Ma'am, I was actually having doubts. So, like, what to do in paragraph two here? Like, to mention some disadvantages or the advantages as well in the second paragraph.
No, no. Well, your first one is on the advantages, yeah?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
So the second one will be on the disadvantages.
Right, ma'am. Right.
So you're going to give a
Totally.
simple sentence, just like
Okay.
what you did with number one, with the one, and
Right.
then you're going to do two and three reasons and supporting with evidence, and then of course section sentence
Yeah.
four.
For the support.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Very good. And then of course we have the conclusion. Now, I know some people say put new stuff in. Keep it simple. Your conclusion should just be a mini paraphrase of your introduction, because as you know, the Nixon, is it over?
Yeah.
Because as you know, can someone tell them no, it's not? I just talked to Devinder. Oh, did he message to everyone? Because Devinder, oh, not Devinder, because the conclusion is only a mini paragraph, a mini paraphrase of your intro. Because you know the topic, when it's paraphrased, becomes the intro, and that's the introduction, and then I mean, really, as simple as you can keep it for students is the
Right,
best
ma'am.
way. That's what the whole crux of this is about, is keeping it simple for the students.
Right.
Yeah, and P1 and P2 actually does it. And the system never changes. It's overview, sentence 2, sentence 3, sentence,
Right.
Yeah.
So that's it. Any questions before we go?
Yes, Maria, one question I had. What are, if I would ask you, what are the top 3 or 5 points that would help you to overall score a band, not even 8, 7, 7.5? So apart from the structure that we are following, like errors, as you said, grammatical errors, if there are 12 errors, right?
Yeah,
You would score a band 7.
yeah.
Yeah. So do you have any top 5 pointers to keep in mind for a 7 or a 7.5?
Okay, no, that's fine. The most errors people do are the commas. They're not putting the commas in the right place. And it's really important to have your commas. And you know, maybe when you find that, like I find sometimes if I have students like that, this is before the pandemic and I was in an institute, I would do a comma exercise. So I'd show them where, like, there's only certain reasons that you have a comma when you go from a simple sentence to, and you're going into complex one, you're joining them together. So there's a number of things after a country, after a date. So teach them that, because sometimes, you know, people get most of their 12 are from commas. The other one is the grammatical error in their writing. They're using the wrong word, like Samir, that one, someone
A
said,
few.
what was it?
A few.
Oh, yeah. So that, yeah, that's an important thing as well. So, but I've said it before, when you get essays with some or majority, you have to use that same quantity, because you can't say some when it says a few. And it's like when we're speaking to our friends, you know, I might say, can I have a few, or one of my family, oh, you can have a few plums or something. You can take a few pieces of fruit. But if they took more than two, I'd say, hey, two's enough, because they should know that a few is only two. So you're using it all the time in your everyday language. Oh, can you give me some? So I'm talking about 4 or 5, 3 or 4 or 5. And this is the same with when they are translating it with, and there's a reason why they actually put it in. And that's the reason, is that I see so many essays where it'll have few and they're writing some, or many and they're writing some. So it's everything that you find your students doing, stop everything and give them an exercise on it, so it's not repeated again. The articles is the other one. So you've got the commas, you've got the quantities, which are common in IELTS. You've got the articles. So a lot of them don't know whether it's for or the, you know. So when you find that, even 2 is sufficient in your class to give, just give a 30-minute article lesson. You know, like I always kept papers on articles, prepositions, and commas. So I had them there. And when you're doing class and you find out that, oops, there's a few that haven't really understood when to use an article, then of course I'll have an article session. And I'll tell them, I'll show them it on the board, I'll give examples, then I'll give a worksheet to back up. There always should be that backup. It's not just words. There should be that evidence of support. And that's the same with prepositions. Oh, that is the other one. Prepositions are, a lot of students get the wrong preposition, whether they use on or in, and especially when they're doing dates. And they might say in May the 8th. So they need to know that when it's got a date at the end of it, like a number, then it's on. Without it, it's in. So, so these are all little errors. And their spelling. Someone said to me, I had someone for spelling, and I said, if they're not good at spelling, use the syllable, teach them how to spell. You know, like if you do it by the syllables and you get them to knock on the desk, because this is what we did in teaching. This is how we teach the children when they don't know, they're having problems with spelling. We get them to write like knock, important. So they're listening and then they're breaking it up themselves. They're writing I am important, P-O-R-T-A-N-T. So yeah, spelling, but there's always a key to something that they're getting wrong, and it's up to us to help them to
Identify.
unlock that key and open the door. So when there's errors, stop everything. Like, was it your one? Was it Nihar or Samir? you put an essay there. And
Yeah, it was me. Yeah.
yeah. So did you, you see, if I had an essay like that, and that was in your class, yeah?
Yeah.
I would say to the person, no, I hope you don't mind, but I need to use it as a training purpose. I would put that up there, I'd write it on the whiteboard, and we would say, okay, what do you think's wrong with it? And you take it apart, and that helps for them to understand it. Yeah, there was something that they were doing. I think, oh, there was stop, go, stop, go, stop, go. I think that was yours, eh, Samir? There were no connectives. And they didn't say therefore something something. However, even though,
Yes,
furthermore, I mean that is like a no-no with that essay. That would have got a low score because it has to be fluent and coherent. So when I was reading that, it was like they just did this stop, this stop. I would have used that time to say, okay, we're going to have a half an hour lesson on the connectives, compound and complex. The two, because you need the two to get the criteria where it says uses a complete range. You can't get it without the compound and the complex together. So I always taught that because they didn't really understand it. So I would do an exercise on it. I'd write the compound words on the board and the complex on the other side. And I'd say, write me a sentence using any one of those compound words. So they might see and. So they said, my dog and my friend. Okay, that's easy. All right, write another one. Until they got to use all of those compound words, even nor and yet. You know, they'd never used yet in one, but that's a compound word. And then I'd write the complex ones, and they have to write a sentence using a compound word with a complex. So they'd have and however, and they'd write a sentence, and this is how they learn better than just being told. Yeah. So those are them, Neha. Those are the main ones.
Yeah, Maria, these are, sorry, one more question. These are just grammatical. I mean, the grammar points that we need to remember. Is there anything else that is important for a student to score a 7 or a 7.5?
Well, yeah, because it says uncommon resource. So, you know,
vocab.
The one I work for, he teaches 20 new vocab a day to his students, and they're Saudi students. So he teaches them 20 a day. And when they're speaking, their speaking is amazing. So always have a time for new vocabulary. Because if you don't make it, they're not going to make it. They're not going to make the time. So when I'm with my students, I say to them, all right, like here's 3, try to use them in sentences. But then, of course, I might give them a list of, I don't like giving them a lot of vocabulary. It's too much for their mind. So I will give 3 of the most common that they can use in their writing. And so it doesn't matter if they're all using the word lackadaisical and they're all using the word plethora. It doesn't matter. They're using it for that band. So yeah, it's important. Yeah.
Thank you, Mariam. Thank you so
You're
so
quite
much.
welcome. You know, it's like feeding the baby. If the baby can't feed themselves, you have to be feeding them every little drop for them to really actually get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Any more questions before we go?
Okay, one more question. I have a number of questions. I'm sorry. You told us, right? You need to have at least 3 complex sentences in speaking to score a higher band score. Do you have something like that for writing as well, that we need to have 3
It's
or 4
identical.
compound complex sentences?
It's identical. The
It's
speaking criteria for grammar and accuracy is identical to the writing criteria for grammar and accuracy. So when I am doing my students and I say only 3, now there's a reason for 3, and writing is only 3. The reason for 3 is like, one, you hear it and you think, oh, okay, I heard that. You know, there's the examiner. I heard that. And then you hear it again twice and you think, oh, great, maybe they do understand. The third time seals it, 100%, they know it. That's why it's 3. But you don't want more than 3 because it's complex and speaking is simple. Speaking is all simplicity, but they throw in the complex range. And then in writing, it's only 3 as well. It's not a whole lot of complex structures.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
That's it.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Yes, dear Maria. For just receiving higher marks, I mean, in writing, more than, for example, 7.5, and what should be decreases? I mean, in the writing.
Did you say your phrases?
Pardon?
Sorry, what did you say?
Just I asked you how we can increase the mark, for example, from 7.5 or 7 to to higher ones, to 8 to 8.5. I mean, what should be decreases in our writing? I mean that, for example, less, for example, spelling, less grammatical errors, or what problems
Okay.
that causes that to get a
Do you have the, Ali, do you have the criteria?
no, I don't have.
Then you need it. I mean, that should be like your Quran or your Bible, whichever faith you have. That should be nearly, it should be by you all the time. You have to know this inside and out. Now, what it shows in the criteria, the words, you have, like for band 7, you have addresses all parts. Okay, it addresses all parts. Then a band 8 says sufficiently addresses all parts. It's different. There's a difference between she addressed it. She addressed all the parts. That's great. But sufficiently, she sufficiently addressed all parts of the task, and it was amazing. You see the difference?
Sorry,
Oh,
I didn't understand
okay, well-
because I don't know, the main noises, I can't hear you well. I don't know
Well,
why.
you need that criteria.
Yeah.
You need the criteria because everything is defined in the criteria. So like how we have
Right.
some and few. In the criteria, it says, no, a band 7 addresses all parts of the task. Okay, that's what we do.
Just
But
how can I find the criteria? I mean, that
Ellie.
Google it or not?
She just
Yeah.
shared, I think. Soumya just shared it on the
Yeah,
group.
sorry for interrupting. Yeah,
Ah,
that's it.
thank
They're
you,
saying.
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
what you need to do is you'll see that they use quantity, even in the criteria. They'll use addresses all parts, band 7. A band 8 will say sufficiently. That is more than, it's greater than. Then you'll get band 7 coherence and cohesion. Logically organizes. Band 8 said sequences information. There's more information when you get to 8. But you know what? You need to crawl before you can walk. Get to a band 7, and then once you get to band 7, it's going to be easier for you to get to band 8.
Right.
All right.
Thank you.
Now, someone put their hand up.
It was just to say that I have shared the band descriptor for her. Just wanted to let her know that there is a band.
Isn't that sweet?
Thank you,
guys.
dear.
Yes.
You guys are so sweet. Well, I need to go. I got my TOEFL exam very shortly. So
All right.
I'll catch all you. Now, someone wanted to know about TOEFL or PTE. Which one? Someone said something.
Yeah, me. Yeah, I said it would be great to have sessions on TOEFL and PTE as well. The more you learn, the better, right? I mean, you can just keep learning and keep learning.
Yeah, sure. All right. You know what'd be really good next week though? I want to do one more these writing tasks too, because it's got to get into the system. You know,
Correct.
you got to take it in the system. If you practice one more, it's going to become so natural. It's just like walking when you can do a writing task too, and then passing it on to your students. So just do that one more time, because there might be others that haven't done it, and I think Ellie could do it another one. All right. Well, Devinda, anything to say?
Well, ma'am, I have written the overview of second paragraph as well for the drawbacks.
I can see it. Do you want to read it?
Sure, ma'am. Replacing drivers with signs will have some drawbacks too.
Okay. And then you've got joblessness, hacking, and malfunction. Excellent.
Yes,
Excellent. Please, when you do your task, please send them to me.
All right, ma'am. Sure.
Yes.
I can't wait to read them. Okay, Ellie? Ellie, you all right? All right, guys.
Yes.
Oh, all right. You send me your stuff. Anyway, have a great evening. Thank you,
You too, Maria.
so much.
Thank you.
You're quite
Bye.
welcome. I'll put the recording on GIT.
Thank you. Maria, did you check the speaking recording as well? If you could send that, if you could.
You
if
know
have
what,
found it.
Neha?
No.
I have been through that speaking one. I will keep searching. Oh my God, I know what you mean. That was
It's
such
okay.
a good one. If you want to do another one, we'll do another one.
No, I don't want to go through that again. It was deadly, but it was a good experience. It was like putting the hand in the grave, I did that and I just abruptly said, let me do it. I showed a brave front, but when the opportunity came, I was like, don't ask me how I felt.
You were brave, Neha.
No, Soumya, you are just too good.
No, that was great. I actually got another Saudi who got all 9s. But you know what? I was going to send it on GIT, but then I got a bit afraid, because I think if my boss knew, he would not like it, because it's privacy, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I know.
Yeah, so that kind of, what I might do if Neha is just send it to you and you delete it after.
Sure. I'll do that. Don't worry. You can be rest assured. I'll just have a look and I'll delete it.
I'll have it forwarded from her, and I'll again do the same thing. I would love to listen to it.
Oh,
I would love to hear
You
that,
can trust
Maria.
me for
Please,
sure.
yeah.
please, just
All
once.
right,
I would make my notes and then I'll delete it. That's all I need.
all right. I trust you too, because I was thinking, oh my
Thank
God,
you.
I could get the sack. What if someone in our group of 13 put it out there?
Yeah, I understand.
All right, I'll do that then. Then you can
Thank
give it to
you.
Samir.
I'll do that.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you. Bye,
Maria. Thank you
guys.
so
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Have a
You're
great
quite
You've done a lot
welcome.
of effort to really train us.
Thank
That's
you.
what I said.
Thank you,
Like,
everyone.
Exactly.
You still tolerate us a lot.
You're quite welcome. And it's good to have a man in the house.
Yeah. Good
Okay,
control.
Maria.
Thank
Good
you,
night.
guys.
Bye. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you, Ellie.
Take care, Ellie. Take
Thank
care, Ellie.
you.
Be
Keep
strong.